What's up, everybody? Welcome to Mixed Martial Talk. We've been back off a couple fucking month-long hiatus on this thing, but we're back, and now we're gonna do everyone again. Probably not, but we're gonna try our best.
We're gonna give it our best.
Okay, but we're talking about the fights coming up on Saturday. John Jones versus Sonnen, UFC 159.
It's about time, dude. It's about time.
Damn. Yeah, Sonnen fought long, hard for this. Really climbed up the ladder of the light heavyweight division.
Totally earned it. I mean, I've never seen Sonnen fight harder. I mean, his last light heavyweight fight was a wash.
When he knocked out Machida and then knocked out Shogun on the same night.
That was unbelievable. I mean, the fact they brought back the Grand Prix just so he could prove his title shot. I mean,
what fucking metal. Metal, pure metal. Okay,
true.
But yeah, so we'll get to Sonnen's undeserved title shot in a second. But let's start at the bottom of the main card. We've got our predictions. Jim Miller versus Pat Healy. Pat Healy, Strikeforce import, who's been on an impressive run over people that none of you know.
or even people who watch.
Or I guess if you're watching this, actually, you might know. Yeah. But, you know, he's been beating people like Carlos Foto or Lyle Beerbaum and stuff like that. His only significant fight in Strikeforce was against Josh Thompson, and he lost. So, he's fighting Jim Miller. Jim Miller's the top guy. He's an elite guy.
I would say top tier. I feel like that's a really tough fight just to throw someone who's making the crossover.
Yeah. Jim Miller beats everybody except the best. Like, if you look at his record, he kicks everyone's ass except, you know, we're talking top 3, top 4 guys.
Yeah, well, pretty much he's almost got like the Sharan complex, where it's like unless you're champion material, you're really not going to get too far against him. He's extremely well-rounded. He's got incredible striking, good cardio, excellent wrestling.
You just can't look good against him.
Yeah, you really can't.
Even if you beat him, people are going to be like, oh,
he could have gone
that good.
Yeah, he could have gone the other way.
Yeah, so I'm going to say Jim Miller probably by rear naked.
I mean, that's his fucking go-to right
there.
There's that rear naked, and that thing's gross.
I think he's going to get it.
I'll side right there with you, especially since I feel like most of the Strikeforce people coming over, you know, with the exception of, you know, a few have actually done really poorly. The crossover.
Turn your cell phone off during Mixed Martial Talk.
I'm sorry. I just realized it was on. I'm trying to silence it, not working.
Okay. Yeah, so that's the easy one. I'm not big on the Strikeforce imports normally. I feel like if you were that awesome, you probably were going to get ported over before it got folded up.
Yeah, before it got swallowed up anyway, you would already be there.
Okay. Next, we're looking at Vinny Magalhães versus Phil Davis.
Which I think is actually pretty interesting because, you know, Vinny's expert jiu-jitsu and Phil Davis is going to want to put him on his back the entire time, so
it's gonna, worst case scenario, I think this fight's going to be a non-stop stand-up bout just because both of them are so good at the ground, neither of them is going to engage in it, but chances are it's probably going to be Phil Davis on top of Vinny the whole fight. Doing
pillow punches to a little bit of, we might see a vicious elbow here and there, which might make him, you know, give up the guard, go into a half, but either way, it's probably going to be very, very slow. It's going to be a very slow
fight. I mean, Vinny is an elite level guy. We're talking about next level jiu-jitsu, but I really don't see him subbing Phil Davis. Phil Davis is only his blue belt, but I still don't see it happening.
And Phil Davis also is just an extreme athlete.
Exactly. I feel like he's got the strength to just beast his way out of any submission.
Wiggle just about it. And at our blue belt level, you do have a general knowledge of how to escape just about any submission. Yeah. So that combined with his raw power and his, you know, his strength and his speed and his agility, I can't see Vinny putting him in anything that he couldn't somehow manage to work himself slowly out of. Especially as the match goes on.
Yeah, definitely. Vinny had a good run in M1, and, you know, his armbar over Igor was awesome, but Igor and Phil Davis are on 2 totally different levels. I feel like they're really jumping the gun on that. They're throwing him into a guy who's arguably top 10, and it's like, what has Vinny done to do that? I think they only have this fight set up because of their little Twitter beef that's been going on for a while, so I think we're both pretty comfortable here saying Phil Davis by being a next level athlete.
Yeah, pretty much. I'll probably say decision, to be perfectly honest.
Yeah, I think he's probably just gonna.
I don't feel like he's gonna ever put Vinny in a position where he won't be able to adequately defend himself. But at the same time, I think he's gonna keep him in a position where he won't be able to mount really true offense against Phil Davis.
Unanimous decision.
Phil Davis.
All day. Mr. Wonderful.
Phil Davies, man.
Okay. Boom. The heavy hitters.
Heavyweights.
Roy Nelson.
Blowing up the screen right now.
Roy Nelson, Big Country. Versus Czech Congo, the blackest person on earth. Infinite darkness.
The most French African person.
Yeah. Wow. This could be a really cool fight if they stand and bang. And if they stand and bang, I think Roy Nelson's just gonna fucking knock
overhand right all day.
Czech Congo out. Yeah, I think it'll look just like when Mark Hunt fought Czech Congo and just knocked him out. Or when Roy Nelson fought Dave Herman, crumpled him like an accordion.
Or when Roy Nelson fought pretty much just about anybody.
Anyone that doesn't just kick his ass.
Yeah.
But yeah, Czech Congo has had such a disappointing career in the last fucking couple years. And even though he hasn't been losing really, except to Mark Hunt, the only exciting fight victory I think he has in the last couple years is really Pat Barry, and that was on the verge of defeat. He had lost that fight like 3 times before he won.
The overconfidence of Pat Barry managed to let him run right into a punch. Yeah. But I mean,
if you don't know what we're talking about, you look up the Pat Barry Czech Congo fight. Do yourself a favor.
Talk about a rally, I guess you could call it, or just pure stupidity on the part.
Yeah, there were like 3 knockouts in that fight.
just letting you know.
Yeah.
On both sides.
So I think the only way Czech Congo is going to win this fight is if he's able to clinch Roy Nelson up against the cage for 3 rounds,
which has become his favorite, his game plan lately.
Yeah.
Which is sad to see an elite level kickboxer decide that all of a sudden he wants to just press you against the cage. I mean, he doesn't even have all that impressive dirty boxing, so even when he gets you up against the cage, it's not like he's doing heavy. Yeah,
it's like he's going to hold you up against the cage until the ref breaks it up, and then he's going to put you up against the cage again.
Just slowly wear you down until you become frustrated, and then you're playing his game.
So that's going to be potentially a good fight.
Depends.
I have my doubts on how that happens. There's a stray cat attacking my door right now. Okay.
I say Roy Nelson for the win now.
Yeah.
I'm gonna put Big Country in the winner slot for that one.
I think Roy Nelson fight first round knockout.
Yeah, I would say first round knockout, first round TKO. I think he's gonna pull Roy Nelson. He's gonna absorb. He's one of the best punching bags out there.
Definitely,
to be perfectly honest, I think he's gonna go in there. He's gonna eat a few, and he's gonna just duck under and swing one of those heavy hitters and put him on his back.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think he's going to get out-grappled or even manhandled by Czech Congo. I mean, the only person listening to that was Frank Mir.
And once again,
Frank Mir is a lot bigger than Czech Congo.
And the jiu-jitsu is different. You know what I mean? Czech Congo arguably could have been one of the best heavyweights of all time if he ever got his ground game.
I don't think he knows what jiu-jitsu is.
Yeah, I've never seen him use it. I've never seen him use it. So even if they go to the ground, Roy Nelson is highly decorated jiu-jitsu.
Yeah, after the fight, I think Czech Congo should probably talk to Vinny Magahalas
about getting some jiu-jitsu
lessons.
Him and Melvin Gouliard can both go together.
Yeah.
Stop wasting everybody's time.
Okay, so it brings us to the co-main event. This is tasty little meatball. I'm pretty excited about this fight actually. Alan Belcher versus Michael the Count Bisping.
I feel like this is the only match really that could go either way, to be perfectly honest.
Yeah.
I feel pretty confident in my picks up until this match. I feel like this match is the only match where I don't feel too positive about who's going to win it.
I still feel pretty confident, I think, on my pick here. I think I'm going to go with Michael Bisping. I think Michael Bisping is just like Jim Miller in that sense that he beats everybody except the best.
He's also incredibly well-rounded.
And Alan Belcher is not the best.
No.
And he has a horrible Johnny Cash tattoo. It's unforgivable.
Yeah, that is pretty awful. pretty awesome.
Yeah.
When I first saw it, I thought it was a fat Elvis tattoo.
Yeah, it doesn't look like Johnny Cash at all. It's a bizarrely horrible tattoo. So, Michael Bisping, he's got good takedown defense, he's got excellent kickboxing, he's got competent jiu-jitsu. So I really don't see on paper anywhere that Alan Belcher is going to win this.
I feel like if Alan Belcher brings his A game, like really comes out the fight, I think he could pull off the upset.
I mean, we're talking about a guy who out-grappled Rosemir Polaris, and that was pretty awesome.
It's a pretty big deal. I mean, because all he had to do was stand up, and he sat down and let him play with his legs for a while.
That was insane. I thought it was over. I was like, oh, it's over. Like,
what are you doing? What are you doing? But I guess big risk comes big reward. And then it was so disappointing to see his fight against Yushin Okami, where he couldn't even. He's supposed to be known for his Muay Thai, his kickboxing, and Yushin Okami outstrikes you. It's just not. It wasn't pretty. So I'm hoping that he learned from that fight that he's going to come into this one against Bisping as a much more, better rounded fighter.
Yeah, that's where I have my doubts. Is there's been so many situations where Alan Belcher says, "I'm reborn." This is the new Alan Belcher. Yeah, and I'm like, the fight with Yushin Okami, I think, showed it so well because like you lost to Yushin Okami like 3-4 years ago, and here you are in your career losing to Yushin Okami again. I hope you had some deja vu in this fight, but Alan Belcher's a guy that can be in the UFC till he dies. He's that good of a fighter, but he's never going to be in that top 5.
He just can't break it. Can't break that plateau. Like he plateaus, and everyone else around him is evolving. He's standing still. So
yeah, and he's the only guy that ever lost to Yoshihiro Akiyama. Come on, man. You can't beat Yoshihiro Akiyama.
Gotta get it together.
So yeah, Michael Bisping, I think probably wins this decision.
I'm gonna play the devil's advocate, and I'll say Alan Belcher by a second round TKO.
Okay.
Because I don't think he's gonna tap him. I think his only hope really is that he gets him against the cage, throws some of those knees, gets that confidence and that momentum.
Yeah. I think this could be a fight of the night.
I'm hoping so. It's looking like it should be.
And it's got a lot of divisional relevance for middleweights, because I feel like as far as whoever wins this is going to be the guy who's also going to get to stay in the picture. He's going to stay. Yeah, he's going to be one of the people that people still have in the conversation. But if Michael Bisping loses, then it's going to be like he's never going to get a title shot. If Alan Belcher loses, then he's just going to be a prelim kind of guy forever.
Which kind of sucks, to be perfectly honest.
Yeah, like,
we kind of lose out as fans if Michael Bisping loses this fight, because Alan Belcher's not high enough up rank that he'll get necessarily a next title shot. Like he'll probably have to float through a couple more middleweights, and that's only if, once again, he stays on top of his game.
They want it so bad. The UFC wants Michael Bisping to have a title shot so bad.
I want Michael Bisping to have a title shot. I'm interested to see that.
Just to see that bloodbath, and Anderson Silva kicking his head off or something.
Well, I'm interested. I feel like, Anderson Silva's come through everybody else. Might as well give Michael Bisping his one, his shot. You never know. Weird things have happened.
After Anderson Silva beats Chris Mark, then I'm only interested in super fights, but that's fine.
Just beat on the GSP or somebody. Gain weight, fight John Jones.
Yeah, seriously. Okay, the main event. We're gonna break it down hardcore. Get ready.
This is a hard choice for me to make, especially. I'm so torn about who I think will win this.
This is a neck-and-neck battle between the two greatest light heavyweights in the history of the sport.
I mean, I don't know if John Jones could be considered one of the greatest yet.
But Chael P. Sonnen.
Solidified in time. This is just ridiculous.
He beat up Anderson Silva so bad one time that it makes him number 2 in the light heavyweight division.
In a totally other weight division. For his performance in the one, he has now garnered the respect of being the number 1 contender.
Yeah.
In the division above his.
Lose to Anderson Silva twice, get a title shot at light heavyweight. Okay.
For all those middleweights out there.
So Chael Sonnen versus John Jones. This is a weird fight, though. Of course, you know, unless something crazy happens, John Jones is going to smash him. There's no
Chael Sonnen doesn't
really
slip while throwing the spin backwards.
Yeah. I mean, there's really no crazy way you can look at this where on paper John Jones is going to lose. Chael Sonnen,
there's nothing he could throw at John Jones that John Jones hasn't already seen, hasn't already countered, gone against. And John Jones is a much superior athlete at this point. He's just longer, stronger, leaner, faster. Like, even if it came down to just their grappling, there's nothing that Chael Sonnen is going to do that John Jones hasn't already seen through his collegiate years, let alone during his time in the UFC.
Really, the only thing that's going for Chael Sonnen here is that he's a takedown machine. You know, it's his bread and butter, and he goes for it relentlessly. You know, but that's the problem, is there's no way he's going to finish John Jones. So Chael Sonnen's going to have to take him down and hold him down for 5 rounds. He's going to have to be able to do it every round, or John Jones is going to finish him. So, man, it's a hell of a long shot that he could
wins this fight.
Do that. You know,
there's really no scenario where I can see him.
The only X factor is how's John Jones do on his back. You know, is he going to turtle up? A lot of wrestlers don't like being on their backs. A lot of people who have a lot of confidence get shocked when they first get put on their back. You know, so there could be some crazy scenario where Chael can put him on his back and he wilts. You know,
and pounds him out.
Yeah.
But I mean,
do we see that happening? No.
I don't see that happening at all. I mean, I just don't. Even if he puts John Jones on his back, the size difference, John Jones' strength, I mean, what's to prevent John Jones from just standing right back up? It's not like...
sweeping him.
Yeah, or it's not like Chael Sonnen has incredible submissions. He's not going to attempt to take your back and choke you out, you know, as you get up off the ground. Unless through some fluke, the only way I see Chael Sonnen win this match is if John Jones thinks that this match is as much of a joke as we do.
Yeah.
And he treats it as such. That's the only way he's going to lose. Because, I mean, as much as, you know, I don't think Chael Sonnen is going to win, I also feel like he's one of those people that, you know, expects you to underestimate him, and then he drills you. And he puts you in a position that you don't like. But
yeah. I'm also interested in Chael Sonnen's training camp, because I know he's been doing The Ultimate Fighter, and he's been doing commentary for all the post-fight fuel analysis shows, been going on interviews, all these promos. And I know those fuel shows aren't taped in Oregon, and I know that's where his fight camp is, so that's where Team Quest is at. So I don't know if he's, like, are you skipping training days to go out and fly out and then stand with Dominic Cruz and Rashad Evans and talk about fights? Like, you know, I just don't know where your head is, man, where it's like, this is one of the most important fights in your life.
Probably the toughest trial.
Yeah, they got to be the toughest person you've ever fought. Unless, you know, you consider Anderson Silva the toughest. But, yeah, it doesn't seem like he's training 100% for it.
Which is just ridiculous.
Yeah.
I don't even understand John Jones not training 100%, and for Chael Sonnen to not be training at the utmost of his abilities is absurd.
Yeah.
If he wants any hope in hell of winning this fight.
Yeah, I think this fight will play out some X factors, but everyone's saying, oh, you know, what if Chael Sonnen can put him on his back? That's another thing. What if he never gets a chance? What if John Jones, like he always does, just controls space so well, you know, just keeps the distance and never lets him have, just picks him apart, kicks him in the kneecap a whole bunch of times like he likes to do.
Here's the funniest thing is everyone keeps saying, what if he puts him on his back? What if he puts him on his back? What do you think John Jones is training for? This entire time leading up to this match is that, oh, Chael Sonnen's going to come into this fight and he's going to try and put me on my back. He's already a pedigreed wrestler, John Jones. He has awards and he's gifted, he's talented, he's an extreme athlete, and he's training this whole time on takedown defense, which he was already almost impossible to take down as is. So now we're saying, oh, what if it happens? I don't see how it can. I don't know how you could be John Jones training camp and not drill takedown defense. Because that's the only thing Chael Sonnen has against him. He's not going to outstrike John Jones. He's not going to tap out John Jones. He's going to try and wilt him.
And I mean, even the striking advantages that Chael Sonnen had when he was fighting Anderson Silva, Because Silva fights in an unorthodox stance. He fights southpaw. John Jones doesn't, so it's going to be, all those advantages are going to be negated, and it's not, John Jones' arms are twice as long
as Chael Sonnen.
So yeah,
I mean, his wingspan is about as long as Chael Sonnen is tall.
Yeah, pretty much.
I mean, just to be perfectly honest, it's a haphazard match. I mean, it's pretty much the exact same thing as when they threw Rich Franklin, that bone, and they were like, pretty much either see the greatest upset in the world or just watch somebody basically get their face smashed in. Yeah. Oh, not Rich Franklin, Stephan Bonnar.
Oh,
they put Stephan Bonnar in against Anderson Silva.
Yeah. That was a crazy fight, though. It was fun to watch.
Yeah, it was extremely fun to watch, which is, I think, the Chael Sonnen and John Jones part is going to be extremely fun to watch. I don't see it as an actual competitive match. I don't see it as it being an actual title fight.
My question is, are we wasting John Jones' time at light heavyweight right now? We have all these contenders. We got Musasi, we got Gustafsson, possibly Daniel Cormier could come down. A Machida rematch, is warranted at this point. Chael Sonnen, it seems like such a waste. Because especially if John Jones is talking about surpassing Tito Ortiz's title defense record and then moving up to heavyweight. So are we really going to waste one of John Jones's fights on Chael Sonnen?
I mean, it's not
a never champion middleweight.
I mean, it's not what are we going to. We are. I mean, it's happening. Tomorrow night we're going to watch that fight happen. Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. I got you. But we're going to watch that fight happen. And unfortunately, that's just,
Yeah, I mean,
where we're at right
now. The
now.
best scenario is that something fucking incredible is going to happen in the finish. Something that's going to be able to add to John Jones' highlight reel. Something that's going to be able to help them promote him for another fight.
I mean, that's what this whole fight's really about, I feel like. People love to watch Chael Sonnen. They like watching him, play that WWE character and run his mouth and instigate and, be arrogant, and that's what it is. He's just a good promoter. He promotes fights really well, and Dana White's a businessman, and this is a smart business move. But as far as, being someone who watches the sport and looks to see actual competition, it's kind of, it's a bummer. It's a big bummer.
Yeah. So, what are you going to say is going to happen? What's your prediction?
I'd say John Jones is probably going to work on.
By what?
I'm going to probably go with. I'm going to go out there. I'm going to say he's going to tap him in the second. I'm going to say Chael's going to shoot in for some takedown, and it's going to get stuffed, and it's going to put him underneath John Jones, and John Jones is going to do like he did to Rampage and just slowly just slide over him and sink that submission in.
Yeah. I'm not a fool. And I know that John Jones is going to win. But I'm going to make my prediction for chaos. I'm going to vote for chaos on this one. I'm going to vote for Chael. I'm going to put my prediction in here. I'm going to say split decision victory. I think he's going to, be able to hold John Jones down for enough of a few rounds that he'll be able to pull off the biggest fucking upset in UFC history, shock the world.
Certainly make the light heavyweight division more interesting.
Yeah, could you imagine this? Just walk with me here for a second. Chael Sonnen pulls off the upset, gets the belt, then Anderson Silva says, I'm going to move up in weight and fight Chael Sonnen for a third time.
Freeze up the middleweight division.
Yeah, freeze up the middleweight. Who cares? Who cares about the middleweight division? Anderson Silva. Let's see who can win a title shot to lose to Anderson Silva. But Anderson Silva moves up to light heavyweight, fights Chael Sonnen, beats him, takes the belt, becomes the first two divisional champion at the same time, to have two belts at the exact same time, and then John Jones fights Anderson Silva to get the belt back.
That'd be a sweet scenario.
But what a fucking awesome 2013, 2014 that would be.
But here's my problem, is that I think the more logical way would turn out if Chael Sonnen wins, is that John Jones would get a rematch.
Immediate rematch.
Because everybody would be like, are you kidding me? That was a fluke. There's no way. So John Jones would be like, you're giving every other schmo a rematch, even sometimes when they don't deserve it. I deserve a rematch. I've been champion. We all know that if he does beat me, it's going to be because of something goofy, something that I haven't seen.
I was sick.
And so let me get a rematch, and that's what we're going to be stuck in. We're going to be stuck in another year of
if there's a
rematches.
If there's a Chael Sonnen John Jones rematch, would you miss it?
I would definitely watch it. It's just I don't want any more rematches. I don't want any.
I would love to see that rematch if Chael Sonnen beats John Jones.
And gets another one.
Oh man, that would just be too awesome. I'm gonna predict that just because it's too awesome not to happen.
You like both the outcomes. The rematch or the Anderson Silva John Jones super fight.
If Chael Sonnen wins, we all win.
We all win. Vote for Chael.
Yeah, vote for Chael. But
vote for Chael.
If John Jones wins, then it's just going to be like, whatever, you were supposed to win. You know, whatever, there was no way you were going to lose, you know, so. I want to make it more interesting.
And we'll see what happens then.
Yeah. Alright guys, like our video if you can, and we'll have another video up for UFC 160. It's going to be awesome. Cain Velasquez versus Bigfoot again, the murdering.
The murdering.
Alright, take it easy guys.
Deuces.